Podcast is a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Listen to other great tech podcasts at www.techpodcasts.com.
Yo, you are in the right place at the right time, listening to the right thing. Tech Webcast. Congratulations on choosing such an awesome thing to listen to. You are clearly very smart. You're into tech stuff. You love hearing Brad and Jason and their guests chat. And you're probably really good looking too. Well done. So let's get into it. The weekly tech extravaganza that is Tech Webcast. In 3, 2, 1, let's go!
And welcome to episode 180 of the Tech Webcast podcast, recorded on Saturday, the 24th of March, 2012. Tech Webcast recorded every Saturday and rebroadcast on the Aussie Tech Heads on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And how you doing there, Brad?
Hey, Steve. How are you, mate?
And I was actually expecting you to put another recording. That's why you hear a pause. I thought you were going to play something else, but...
Oh, that was the whole intro, buddy. That was the whole intro. Different show today. We had no Jason today for the next 3 episodes, and it'll be very different.
Yeah, it's going to...
And, thanks to Dylan Lewis for making our new intro and outro. That guy's from Australia. He does actually radio and TV stuff. It's pretty cool, so you guys probably know who he is, but I do. Jody, what's up?
All kinds of exciting things today.
We can't wait to hear about the Apple drama.
It certainly was drama. Yeah. Do you want to jump in now, or what do you want to do first?
Let's talk to Steve. Steve, what's been happening with you first?
Oh, geez. I've been kind of busy lately. I've had to make 4 videos talking with you because, of course, Jason's going to be gone for 3 weeks. So I'm recording it now to upload to blip.tv after it's over. Yep. So I've been quite busy. Actually, 2 topics coming up on my show, too. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
All right, cool. All right, well, what do you want to jump into first, Steve?
Let me see. I think we normally do news, and I think Jody's going to do the news, I think.
I think that's correct. So, Jody, do you have any news today? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the new iPad is getting some flack for the hot temperatures and also for the Wi-Fi service.
Yep.
Evidently, Apple sold over 3 million iPads, and the Apple iPad has been falling off the shelves. But despite the rate at which it's flying off the shelves, there's a lot of complaints about the new iPad's temperature and Wi-Fi services. So apparently Consumer Reports has said this week that Apple's 3rd-generation tablet reaches temperatures as hot as 116 degrees Fahrenheit when performing multimedia-intensive tasks like playing games. And this temperature was reached after about 45 minutes of gameplay while the Apple iPad was plugged in and Wi-Fi was enabled. Apparently, the same test, which was performed unplugged, the tablet reached only a slightly lower temperature of 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and the study showed that the heat was concentrated near the back corner of the iPad rather than evenly distributed throughout its back side. So evidently, the iPad is having some idiosyncrasies with temperature and heat. But the heat wasn't the only new iPad spec that was brought under fire. Apparently, the Wall Street Journal discovered that there's a potential shortcoming with the new device's video streaming and data allotment policies. The report said that a new iPad user burned through his 2 gigabyte monthly data allotment in less than 24 hours after streaming live March Madness games onto his new iPad. So to continue streaming or even just browse the internet, a user has to pay an extra $10 for every gigabit he uses on top of the $30 base subscription. It's kind of a catch-22 because the iPad really streams great video, but by streaming the really fast, beautiful video, you tend to watch more, and therefore you're going to pay more. So that's kind of what's going on right now with the iPad. There's also been some concern about features, what hasn't been included on the iPad. And what it doesn't have is Siri, it doesn't have wireless charging, which a lot of people were looking for, or a BC camera. But despite those lack of features, there happens to be a lot of really great things that it does have. And it's still been very popular, and as the articles are telling us, it is screaming off the shelves. And I think that's primarily due to the Retina display. They absolutely raised the bar on handheld displays, and the resolution of 2048 by 1536 pixels is significantly greater than that of a monitor that you're looking at in most computers.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's pretty much the story with what's going on with iPad this week. But there's been some movement with Facebook, and evidently employers, at least in the U.S. here, are asking for users' passwords. And Facebook is considering new laws and legal action against employers asking for these passwords. Following up on disturbing reports that some employers are asking applicants to turn over their Facebook usernames and passwords, Facebook's Chief Privacy Officer on Policy, Aaron Egan, hints that the company is looking to draft in new laws to protect users from violations of their privacy like this. He writes on the company's privacy page, and this is a quote, "Facebook takes your privacy seriously. We'll take action to protect the privacy and security of our users, whether by engaging policymakers or, where appropriate, by initiating legal action, including by shutting down applications that abuse their privileges," end quote. And this issue caught the attention of the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, which had previously become involved in a similar case back in 2010. And this case was also cited by an AP report on the trend earlier this week. Anyway, the dilemma is, in my opinion, I don't know that Facebook actually writes laws. Apparently they think they do. Out of curiosity, Brad, do you have stuff like that going on in Australia as well, where employers are asking for users' passwords?
No, not that I know of, no. I've never heard of it, but I may be wrong, but I'm not sure. I've never heard of it over here. Not that I.
It kind of reminds me of the thing with like people that work for certain companies, and they use their Twitter thing, for the company, and then when they move on, then they kind of take their Twitter followers with them instead of leaving it with the company. So I know that was also an issue. It kind of sounds like that too.
All right.
Absolutely, but it's interesting because you think about there's so many protections for personal information, like the HIPAA laws here in the States. That's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. And what that does is it protects people's health information from becoming publicly available. So employers, when they're requesting the username and password, they may find themselves determining or learning information that perhaps the person is disabled, or they're an ethnic minority that may not be visibly discernible. They could get information about their age. And if they determine that they're not hiring the person and they've already had that information available to them, they could potentially be discriminating. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, definitely. All right. What else has been happening, Jody? Any other interesting news?
I have personal news.
Yeah, okay, it's far away.
Well, about half an hour before the show, I ran to the Apple Store because I felt like I was the last person on earth who did not have an iPad.
So yeah, the cool club.
Well, yeah. Well, Brad, you are the president of the cool club.
Yes, I was.
Right. So Brad, you shamed me into running out to get an iPad, and in the process, I had a dilemma.
Wow.
A tragedy.
It was tragic.
Go ahead. What happened?
Well, as we're configuring the new iPad, which, by the way, is blazingly cool. I haven't had one before, so it's pretty neat. I don't know, what are they called, Genius guys or tech guys? What do you call those guys?
Genius.
In the store.
Genius or helpers or whatever they call it.
Cool. Okay, so the Genius, my iPhone was running out of battery, and we were using some of the information from my iPhone to configure the iPad. So I asked him if he could plug my phone in, and he proceeded to plug my phone into a nearby laptop. And you know what happens when you plug a phone into a new iTunes account?
His own fault. He shouldn't have done that. He should have plugged into a PowerPoint.
Well, so I'm standing there and my phone basically was deleted. So, but fortunately, my buddies at Tech Webcast, namely Brad,
and Jacob,
yep, they were able to walk me through how to restore my phone. So all is well so far. Now I just have to figure out my iCloud password.
Steve, can you help with that? Can you help with the password, mate?
The password part?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, what's my password, Steve?
Yes,
I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's one thing. If you got all your iDevices, you got to know your Apple ID username and password, because obviously for nearly everything now.
Yep. All right. Well, what?
Well, let me ask you, because apparently there's two Apple IDs. So I got an Apple ID that I used to make purchases in the store, which they told me I could use for iCloud.
Yes, you can.
But I had an old Mobile Me account, and apparently if you had an old Mobile Me account, they gave you more iCloud storage. So now they want me to hook that up to the iCloud through my Mobile Me account.
Well, eventually Mobile Me is going away. I'm not sure exactly when, but... So,
Brad, yeah. How many Apple accounts do you have?
I've got one. I've only got one.
I thought it was only one, but I don't know. I'm not even sure. That's a good question.
I've got one. I've just got one just for my iPhone and iPad. Just for one, yeah.
Wow. They're setting me up with two.
Well, they should only set up. You should just use the one account.
Don't you think? I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Wow.
Because see, you use Apple ID for everything. You know, each time you download an app, you know, on the iPhone, or now if you got a Mac computer for the App Store, you got to have it. So yeah, it's like really important. What are you gonna do? You might have to call. You might have to call Apple and, you know.
Yeah, call up until they say, Joe, because they're still open after the show. If you've got time, just call them and they'll run you through the technical part of the. So you don't really need. You shouldn't need to.
I know, but a genius is going to meet me tomorrow morning at the store.
Well, I highly recommend you shouldn't meet him, because he'll just muck up your whole iPad again. I wouldn't go back to that store if you paid me.
Yeah, because if you use a new Apple ID, you're going to lose all your paid apps.
Exactly.
And software.
Yep.
And it's going to, I don't know, it could mess up some other stuff too.
Good point, Steve. Good point. All right, let's move on. Steve, what else has been happening, mate? What else has been on the show? What else is happening?
Well, actually, I kind of wanted to talk, because I know Joni mentioned it during the news about the battery issues and stuff.
Yes.
Can we kind of go back on that, or?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just put out the iPad too. So I've had it for a few days now, and the battery issue has been working fine for me. Charge is pretty good, lasts pretty long, and I'm loving the display and stuff. It's pretty nice.
So do you get heating with the battery on yours? And how about you, Jody? Because I know you got the iPad 3 as well.
No, the battery is fine for me. It's fine for me. She just got hers today, so she's...
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I haven't even plugged it in yet.
We might have to ask her next week, Steve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to give her some time. Well, you should have done it by now. Well, anyway, you know, considering I know with the new iPad, they increased the battery size by 70%. Of course, now they got this A5X dual CPU quad core GPU, and to me it makes sense that it's going to get a little bit warm, especially when you're playing videos and movies and video and games. So it would make sense to me that it would. I think it gets up to 10 degrees hotter. I think that was the average, and to me it would kind of make sense that due to those reasons it's going to get a little bit hotter. So I don't think it's really an issue. And what I don't get also about you said the Wi-Fi, I guess it's with the 4G or LTE, whatever.
Oh, yep.
People are running, it's using their data, but, of course you're using the, I think people get on the iPad 3, they start using it a lot, and then if you don't keep track of that on a regular basis, then of course, it's going to suck up, bandwidth quickly. I don't know.
I think in the Apple keynote, they should have pointed out for us Australian people that we can't use 4G just yet. And that's maybe a bit stupid what they should have done, but they should have let us know. Because we do have 4G, but we can't use it on the iPad yet.
Yeah, they should kind of mention that.
Wow.
So yeah,
it's kind of not fair.
It is very nerdy.
Yeah, you get it like
when you do your streaming.
What's that, Jody?
When you do your streaming, do you not run into the same issues as we do here in the States, where if you're using the 4G or 3G or whatever, that it's eating up the data plans? I mean, do you have a data plan with your?
No, I'm on prepaid, so I'm good, so I can use whatever I want. But I don't need to worry about that.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because that can get very expensive.
I can indeed. All right, Steve, what else is happening, mate? What else you want to ask me?
Let me see. Okay, that was the key information. I just heard that you got the Google Plus Hangout on air. You lucky dog, you.
Yes, I did indeed, mate, and I know you wanted it as well. Let's not go overboard with this, but yes, I did. I finally do have it. We did an unboxing with Brian the other day on it. It was quite fun. And that's all I want to say about it. It's great to have it there when I need it. It just gets sent to my YouTube channel, and people can watch it.
But you did mention though something with the audio quality, or something like that. Yeah,
the playback quality isn't good. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me or Google or what, but when you play back the audio, it sounds really bad.
It could maybe just be internet issues, like we've been having with Skype for this episode a little bit, kind of. Sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. No, it could be just the main channel or whatever it is, but thanks to for getting me on air. It's good.
So how do you, when you broadcast it, automatically sends it to YouTube, but you got to go into YouTube if you want to save it, or you delete it, right?
Yeah, it just gets sent to YouTube. It's easy to edit. I can edit the first part if I want to add editing in it. It's easy to use, and you can add a title to it and stuff, and people can watch it, and you can make it public, and other people can join, and it's quite fun.
That's major cool.
Yeah, Chad, your views hanging on there, haven't you?
What's that?
Your views hanging out on there, haven't you?
Yeah. Seth does the podcast. We do the social media hangout on air.
Yes.
Seth has it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome, though. I'm so proud.
So stoked that I got it, but I probably won't use it that much, but, it's one of them.
Of course you will. You're on all the time.
And guess who's here? The guy from Cheers is here. Hooray.
Hey,
hooray,
there we go. We got everything done. Okay, we're good.
So we'll add him into the call now. I'll just let him know.
Excellent.
Him now. So, Here we go. He just hung up on me.
Oh, dear.
Contact. Here we go. Steve, just talk about why there might be some dead air, mate. I don't want to get in the podcast.
Oh, do you want me to pause the...
What's coming up on your show, mate?
Actually got quite a few videos coming up. I've got, of course, the new Tech Webcast iPad version 2.0. I got a video screencast of that coming up. Also, another iPad app called Fire 2 Field Recorder, and I do a small review on that. A couple of topics and another video, so it's going to be fairly busy on my show.
All right. Okay. This is unbelievable. Okay, you just keep talking for a minute, Steve. I'll sort this out, mate.
Oh, okay. Oh, geez. What else are we going to talk about?
Do you have a pick of the week?
Oh, yeah, that's my pick of the week. It's called, I could probably talk a little bit about it. And then, of course, I'm going to show the video on my show, which is, it's kind of like an audio recorder for your iPhone. And now, there's some out there. It's basically actually kind of really used for pro audio. If you have a DSLR or a camcorder. Now, DSLRs are famous. People actually use them for pro video. but the audio usually sucks because it's mono and it's low quality. So you can use this iPhone app to separately record audio, and it's got many options, and it's for a great price. And you can actually put it in different formats. You can actually, the base format's 3 different ones, and from there you can actually create up to 5 other audio formats within the app. You can
What's
also.
it called?
It's called Fire 2 Field Recorder. That's the name of it.
Fire. Say again. Fire.
Fire 2 Field Recorder.
Cool. Okay. Is it it's a paid app?
Yeah, it's a paid app. It's I think it's $5 to $6 in the App Store. And
that's reasonable.
Well, actually, it's funny because I was trying to find one, and they have something called Pro Audio to Go. The only thing with that is it's like $30, and it's actually used by news reporters at a local TV station. But that costs really too much, and the options is not nearly as good as this paid app, the Fire 2. It gives you so many more options.
Cool.
And so,
yeah, that's pretty neat.
Very cool. So all right, we're going to have that guy from Cheese on very soon, so he's going to restart Skype and be back in like 1 minute. So apparently can't add him to Skype for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but
oh no.
Yeah. So Jody, what made you get the iPad? I know I talked you into it, but other reasons you wanted to watch TV. What do you use the iPad for?
Well, honestly, I think, I'm still going to have to explore what I will use it for, but I'm thinking that it's going to enhance my productivity. I do a lot of blog writing, and, sitting at the computer sometimes gets tiring. So I believe that the iPad is going to be a lot more mobile, and in places like if I'm sitting out by the pool or lounging in my bed, I could be more productive. It's tough to take a laptop. Yep. And do something where you're kind of like in a relaxed position. It's always like, cumbersome because you got the 2 pieces and the hinge. So I think that the format of it's going to be easier to port around and take with me. And I'll probably sneak it into meetings.
Is that your first iPad, by the way?
It is. It is.
Okay, so it's totally new to you. So excellent.
It is. It's totally new, and I'm kind of excited. And honestly, I was watching the unboxing that you did this earlier today, Brad, with Brian.
Okay, with Brian. Yep.
Yeah, and you guys are going, oh, Jody's going to be so jealous.
Yep, and jealous.
Oh, yeah, I was. So I was sitting there going like, oh, I guess I just have to get that.
Damn.
So off I went and got my phone zapped.
I know. See, I was like doubly, jealous because he got the on-air Google Plus Hangout and the iPad, the new iPad. I was like, dang, how am I going to compete? I know I got to get something new. Well, I got an app. I got a paid app. I guess that's good enough.
Your $5 paid app.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go with that.
Well, I've got an app of the week if you want to.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Let's
This is. I like this a lot. It's one that I've been using for a while. It's called Cam Zoom. Are either of you guys using it?
I haven't heard of it.
It's on my iPhone. I don't know if they make a version for any other device, but Cam Zoom, what it does is it adds the zoom function on your iPhone so that and you can zoom in closer, and you can adjust the flash. So it changes the way that the app functions. But the other thing that's really awesome about it is, with the regular iPhone, when you take pictures, you can't actually upload it directly to Facebook. You have to use the Facebook app. This in CamZoom, as soon as you take the picture, you can upload it to Facebook or to Twitter or the other social media directly from CamZoom, which is kind of cool. So.
And actually talking about, more apps, and I forgot I have this one in here. It's not the same thing, but it kind of reminded me of it, and it's called Night Vision. And it kind of, if you're using your iPhone, in the dark or very low light, supposedly it uses some kind of special software, so it makes it a whole lot clearer. All
right.
Cool.
Hello, yes, hi.
Hey, how are you? It's Brad. How are you, mate?
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
That's cool. Sorry about the mess up about the time difference, mate. It's really hard to keep up.
No worries. We're on different sides of the planet, so it's all good.
Definitely. Now, so who are you? And tell us about what you do.
I'm the CEO of Cheerful. We run Cheers app, an app for showing love and appreciation. The only one we know of.
Definitely, mate. I agree. I love Cheers. How long has it been around for?
We launched on February 9th of this year, so it's just out recently and doing quite well.
Good stuff. And how many users do you have on at the moment so far?
Well, we don't really disclose that number, but we're really excited about how fast things are growing. I do share the number of Cheerfluence that the system has, which is the number of cheers that have been shared with friends and followers. So if I share a cheer with my 100 friends on Twitter, I get 100 Cheerfluence. Right now, the Cheerfluence in the system is 150 million people.
Wow.
So it's pretty high. We have lots of people who are very active in the system, sharing a lot of cheers, making it's kind of addictive.
Yeah, definitely, it is definitely. Okay, Jody, any questions about Cheers? I know you use this app, so far away.
Yeah, out of curiosity, what was the inspiration for Cheers?
We actually had launched an app called Gripe, and it was to help people. It's surprisingly right. Help people constructively complain. So the idea was. To let people complain about issues at businesses, and also always putting what they would like to turn that gripe into a cheer, or what the resolution needs to be. And we realized that we also put a cheer button in that app, and we realized that as people use the app, anyone who used the app more than once cheered more than they griped, and so we thought, wait a minute, we have this backwards. Where focusing on the gripe is one thing, but nobody gripes a lot, whereas people seem to be cheering a lot more. So we decided to create an app dedicated just for that, and add in. Gripe was only about places, but Cheers now allows you to cheer about people, places, things, ideas, pets, whatever strikes your fancy, and it's been phenomenal. I think there's a lot of love in people's hearts, and Cheers lets them reveal it.
Definitely, I agree with that. All right, Steve, any questions?
Well, I got one question, one statement. I know you said that more people cheered than they griped, but I'm kind of surprised because it seems like most people are like to gripe more than saying positive things. So I think it's great that they actually do. And number two, there's actually a question in the chat room on the JTV that says, do you have an iPad app coming up, or is available for the iPad yet, or like a dedicated app?
It does. On your statement first, I think that what happens is when people associate their real name with something, and that's what both Cheers and app and Gripe were about. We attach you to your network. And so you have to share whatever it is that you're sharing with your friends and family. It becomes a little more obvious why people would cheer more than they gripe, because people are friends with people because they are on positive terms with each other, not because they're on negative terms. And I think somewhat of the bias that we think that people are negative might come from us watching the news and mass media. Mass media always has to be negative to catch our attention, but friend media is always positive because friends are friends because of positive things. So that's on that side. As far as the iPad app, our app currently works on the iPad, and actually it really looks. I just got an iPad 3, and it looks fantastic on the Retina display. But we haven't. It's sort of the enlarged version of the iPhone app. So we haven't put a dedicated iPad app together per se, but it doesn't work on the iPad.
Oh, cool. So will there be an iPad app coming anytime soon, just for the iPad, dedicated to the iPad?
Yeah, we're 6 people, and we're focused on iterating features. Anyone who's been on Cheers knows that we keep churning out a bunch of new features all the time.
Yep.
So what we're trying to do is figure out what are the great. We have a whole bunch of product development ideas for the app. What we want to do is get them all out there, figure out which ones are really good, and then once we have a stable set, then we'll move to the iPad and Android as well. I guess is the next question.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. Yeah, Android. Yeah, when is it coming to the Android?
We again, once we're satisfied with the feature set that we have, then we'll port it over to the Android. We don't want to do double development and and then realize some feature wasn't necessary or another feature was need to be tweaked. Then we have to tweak it twice.
Fair enough. All right. Okay. So, what about Oink? You can get all your Oink data off Oink now and put it onto Cheers. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
we were very surprised that the Oink team gave up on Oink so quickly. We kind of saw Oink as somewhat limited relative to Cheers because it seemed like it was focused mostly on food items. And the idea of broadcasting negative ratings to your friends like ho hum about something of food didn't seem like it would resonate a lot. So I wasn't exactly surprised that they weren't getting the traction they wanted to see, but I was surprised at how abruptly they shut down. And when we looked at it, and there was some backlash from Oink users that they kind of got dumped in the wind there. We thought, why not? Most Oinks were about likes and loves, things people liked and loved. So. And all about places. So it was a subset of items that would fit right into Cheers. So we decided to quickly whip out an Oink importer and give those pigs a home.
Good stuff. Love it. All right, Jake. Any questions?
Actually, I have a question. A lot of the applications, third-party applications, when you use your information from Facebook, it's kind of onerous, the things that you're asking. You want to access the basic information, the profile information, the profiles. You also ask to post on my behalf and access my data at any time. Have you gotten, first of all, any pushback from people because they're concerned about privacy? And what happens with all that information?
Yeah, well, first of all, while we have access to the Facebook permissions work in a way that you have to ask for certain types of permissions, and they decide how they're going to ask that from the user. So they make it seem more onerous than it is. For instance, the idea of posting on your behalf, we never go to your Facebook account unless you've clicked something within Cheers to say share on Facebook, to post a cheer or whatever on Facebook. And every time you want to post on Facebook, you have to command us to do that from within our app. So what we're doing is we are posting on your behalf, but we're only posting it at your behest every single time. And so I think it makes it seem a little more onerous than what it is. And that's the reason we do it. I mean the idea of Cheers is that whenever you create a cheer, it's about sort of publicly broadcasting that exclamation of love and appreciation. And obviously one of the places people connect to a lot of their friends is on Facebook. So we want to make it easy to broadcast on that cheer out to as many places as possible and earn Cheerfluence for it and spread the cheer. So we need to be able to make that easy for you, and so that's why we ask those permissions.
Okay.
But as far as backlash goes, I think it's fairly common for social apps to be doing this. Now that said, we do have some abandon rate on the app as people come to register. So possibly some of the when you ask those permissions, some of the people may be saying, you know what, I'm not into this, and they leave it. So I think for those early adopters, it's really not a big issue because they're very used to this kind of a thing. But for some of the people who are a little more cautious, I think what we have to do is probably continue to build our name, build our reputation, have more and more people speak highly of the app, and over time win people's trust and have them come over and start to try the app. So I think that's more. There's no backlash. It's more like use or non-use.
Yeah, and I think it does make a lot of sense that when you're going to give a cheer, that it's going to be accessible to the people that you're cheering, and they can read about it, and other people can read about it, because otherwise the word doesn't get out. But yeah, it does seem kind of onerous. It's a shame that it has to be positioned that way.
Yeah, tell Facebook.
Yeah.
whenever they're doing something about your privacy, they kind of put it in the best terms possible, and then when it's somebody else that might be doing something, they make it seem like they're the Grim Reaper coming to,
Right.
yeah. So that's the breaks. That's what you get when they have so much power. So we just gotta abide, but we're just the little guys. We have to build our reputation one cheer at a time.
Don't worry, mate. We're getting there. Your app out there, mate. Don't worry about it. We got people. I've been telling people about this app, and they've been getting on there and stuff, and people are loving it.
Oh, I like that catchphrase you just did.
The best part of Cheers so far has been the feedback from the users, and so many people are using it so frequently, so addicted to it, and giving us such positive feedback that it really pumps the team up. We're excited about that.
Definitely. Now, someone was asking about some Cheers stickers. How do they get some hold of some Cheers stickers?
We started a trend here that's kind of spiraling. I'm supposed to sign each one of these, and there's so many requests
really?
now. But we have a URL. We put it on a bit.ly URL. So it's if you go bit.ly/cheers_stickers.
Yep.
It'll send you to a page that'll let you tell us your address, and we send you a bunch of stickers.
Good stuff. Yeah, I got some. I love them.
The logo is something that resonates with a lot of people. I really love that logo.
Yeah, great logo. Yeah. So what's next for Cheers? Any new updates? Can you tell us about what's coming up for Cheers, or any sort of?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that next set of things that we're working on are really around discoverability of Cheers, and right now we have this popular tab. That is sort of one size fits all. You kind of can look at everyone's cheers, or you can look at the popular ones. We think that there's a lot more that we can do in that area to make it fun and engaging to explore cheers by people. And I think we're seeing a lot of people liking to connect to other people on cheers. So we're going to make it a lot easier to connect to people who have similar interests to you and are cheering things that you might find interesting. So a lot of the features that we have in the pipeline right now are going to be around discoverability and connecting of people to each other.
Cool. All right, can't wait for that. Now you got the iPad, is that correct?
The new iPad, yes.
Yeah. How do you like it?
I like that the Retina display. Of course, it's really an improvement, a very subtle and refined display. What I was surprised by was how heavy the darn thing is, and I didn't read much about the heavy issue. And I like to use it in bed. I'm sitting around. The iPad is something that you hold in one hand, and you're doing stuff. And I actually noticed the weight. So it's one of those things where I wish there were some of the reviews. There's so many Apple fanboys out there. Just lauding praise. With no objectivity, it seems. But what I would say is that the Retina display is gorgeous, but the weight is definitely a negative. And had I known what I know, I would have probably held off a little bit.
You know what? Me personally, I had the iPad 2. Now I've got the iPad 3. I can't tell. I can't tell any difference in the weight. To be honest.
Oh, you can't?
No, I can't. I can't tell any difference in it.
You're so powerful, probably. You're so strong.
Probably.
I think the new iPad weighs about 10 ounces more than the iPad 2. I think that was the number, 10 or 11 ounces, a little bit heavier.
That's right. Yeah, and that's a lot. I mean, how much does the whole thing weigh? It probably weighs a couple of pounds, right? I mean, so it's a good 30% probably more. So I don't know. It definitely. I definitely noticed it. I noticed it without anybody nudging me. It just was obvious to me. So, but anyways, it is what it is. It's a pretty good app. It's
good
pretty
stuff.
Fast and pretty strong.
It is very fast. A great product. Now, Brian wants to know. I think we already asked this question, but when's it coming to Android again? He wants to know.
Oh, we don't have a set date for it right now. We really have so many. There's two things that we have to really do. One is the scaling issues, because there's so many people using it, and we want to make sure that we're responsive and don't go down. So that takes a good bunch of effort on our dev team. And then there's a whole slew of features, some of which I outlined, that we need to get into the iPhone version. See, tweak them, test them, make sure everybody likes them, and then once we do that, we'll port over to the Android. So I would say that it's not in the next couple of months, for sure.
All right, well there you go, Android people, you got it answered. So it won't be out for another few months maybe. All right, well it was also in beta for a while. Is that correct? Was that correct?
Yes, we were in private beta for about I guess maybe 6 weeks or so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we wanted to work some of the kinks out and make sure that when we came out of we had a product that people would like, and it seemed like it worked. A lot of people really like it. So.
Good. All right. Cool. And what sort of people have you spoken to about the app? Any sort of spoke to Robert Scoble about the app, or anyone? Them sort of people? Or?
No, we had TechCrunch ran a piece on it. We wanted to just come out of the gate. We didn't want to do a lot of fanfare around the app, mostly because we'd done a lot of fanfare around Gripe, and that didn't get us very far because people didn't really receive it with it kind of set up high expectations and then didn't follow through. We thought with this app, what we're going to do is we're gonna do a more low key approach and start to build sort of a momentum around it. So we'll have the Scobles and the rest of them come when we hit that knee in the exponential curve.
All right.
I hope.
Okay, and how many can you announce how many downloads you had on the app so far, or?
We've had over 30,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, not bad.
Fantastic.
Not bad with no support, no
exactly.
real fanfare.
This is my next question. How are you sort of making money from this, if that's okay to ask?
I think it's early days right now. The path right now for us is to get users and user engagement, and if we can do that, right now about 20% of cheers are for people. The people, there's no real way to make money on it, but they're the viral component of the app. About 16% of cheers though are for places. Places are relatively actually easy to make money on. I think if we get a lot of users on them. Of course, think of each cheer for a place, a cheer for Starbucks or something as an organic social ad for that place. Going out to their users, so it should be easy to monetize that. And then the rest of the 64% or so are about things, and things include all sorts of things like pets and quotations and whatnot. But they also contain a fair amount of actual products, which books, music, media, apps. Etc. And I think that in those situations, book is a good example. If I say, cheers to this book, it changed my life. You as my friend might want to buy it, and we're going to make it easy to go straight from discovering that book that your friend is cheering to buying that book, and we'll probably make a commission there. So I think on products and on places, there's a good opportunity to make money and commissions for driving people into those areas, purchases in those areas. But I think that's sort of a secondary goal to getting a lot of engagement. If we don't get a lot of engagement, there's no point in really talking about business models.
All right. Okay. One last question. What's your favorite cheer saver you've seen on the app so far? Any favorite ones you like?
My favorite cheers are it's a genre of cheer, and they happen to be folks who were, I guess my favorite one was by someone called Island, and he or she cheered that they were depressed, and they'd gone through a lot of therapy and things like that, and then they found cheers. And they've been cheering, and for the past few weeks, it's changed their life, and they feel so much more positive. They've connected to a bunch of positive people, and it's changed their life from negative to positive. And when we actually, and that's not, it's a why I said it's a kind of cheer is that it's a common theme about it that as people cheer and as you meditate about the things around you that you can appreciate and love, you start spending time in that space where things are positive, and suddenly you're let's put it this way: if you're cheering every moment, then well, you're a pretty happy person, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
right.
Instead of meditating on the negative and seeing the negative stuff around you, cheers kind of encourages you to see the positive, and it's a whole community of people who are very positive as well. So they kind of encourage you. So you cheer, you open a little bit of your heart, and you show something that you care about, and you see 5 or 6, 10 people who cheer it on and give you support. So it's really a positive app, and I think those are my favorite types of cheers, where people are saying that it's actually making a difference in their day-to-day happiness.
Good stuff. All right, we've got a question from Jacob. He wants to know, is there going to be any sort of video support added anytime soon?
You mean to add video cheers?
Yeah.
We're actually actively discussing that right now. So that will take one more vote for video support. Yeah, so we do think that definitely some cheers it makes sense to have video support. It's just it's a matter of prioritizing the feature.
All right, Jody. Any last questions before we go?
Well, I just actually have a comment, and I was going to say, Brad, I think you are the #1 cheerleader.
I wish. I am not #1. I wish I was #1, but I'm not. I'm like
You're doing quite well, though, Brad.
I wish to dispute that claim.
Wish I was #1. Who's #1 at the moment?
I think #1 is Daryl Demeril. He's or Joe Hobart. Let me see. Let's see. They're combating. So
I think Brad comes in the easy second.
No, I'm not. No.
Daryl the second.
Yeah, I think Brad comes in the easy second.
I wish. But, it's a great app. So much fun to use. And Jody, continue what we're going to say.
No, that was it. I just was saying, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Where can they find you on Twitter?
I'm Farhad667. So Farhad 667.
Okay. And what about
and on Cheers? You can find it at Cheers, of course.
At Cheers, good stuff. All right. And what else is there? Steve, any last questions you want to ask?
Oh, I think that was it.
That was it. All right. And the stickers, love the stickers. What about t-shirts? Any Cheers t-shirts coming out soon?
Somebody is actually asking us to put up a sort of a cafe press site so that you can get all sorts of stuff. Yeah, we're going to put that up. We won't be able to give all those for free because it's drained the bank account completely. But we'll give them away at cost.
You need to make some money out of the app.
No, we're not going to make any money out of it. No. I refuse for us to make money out of promotions.
Well, you do put a lot of work in the app, so you should get some. You should get something.
Oh yeah. I think, but I mean, our plans are to go really large with this and make money on the advertisers, not on the users. So if we ever do put out or when we put out T-shirts, mugs, etc. What we'll do is we'll put them out there at cost and have people be able to just pay for the shipping and handling and the cost of the product and get it to themselves. So
good stuff.
We're not going to make money on that.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And
thank you so much for having us.
We'll get the app on Cheers. Go download. It's free on the App Store. And appreciate your time. And hang around for a minute. What you love. Thank you. Steve, what's coming up in your show, mate?
I got 3 videos coming up. 2 iPhone, iPad apps. Of course, yours 2.0.
Oh,
and
can't wait for
topics.
That. Can't wait for that. 2.0, yes. And Jody, thanks for coming on, as always.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Enjoy your new iPad.
I will, and I will report back next time with what's going on with my phone and the new iPad.
Definitely. Now, what about when are you doing your shows again? Your podcast again? When are you going back on your shows?
The A2SM was on a hiatus. Neil got really busy, so it's taken a little bit of a break. And Seth and I have to get on a schedule with the social media hangout. Wow. So yeah, I think it will start it up again in the near future. Seth got really busy. Neil got really busy, and it's kind of the co-hosts can't do it, then what do you do, right?
That's it. Oh, I got Tech Webcast to do now, and that's great. So where can they find you on Twitter and Facebook?
On Twitter, you can find me as Sunswept. It's SUNSWEPT.
Yep.
And on Facebook, you can find me as Jody Rains or my company Webmarcom. So hopefully we'll connect and meet up there.
Definitely. And Steve, where can they find you, mate?
Of course, Chatterbox_live on Twitter, and of course, Justin.TV /Linux Cool Dude.
All right, and me, Brad, I was in the Tech Webcast. Thanks, guys, for being on. Jason's going to be back. He's going to miss the two more episodes. The video of this podcast is going to be out very soon. Steve, what's up with that? When will that be out, man?
It'll probably be a while because we're already past an hour recording. So for 80p, it's going to probably be a couple hours.
Yeah, just blame the podcast.
Well, just one of those things. It'll take a while because it's a long upload.
All right. Thanks, guys, for being on, and stay tuned for next week for more fun.
Excellent. Thank you.
Get the cheers up, people.
Oh, no outro? Are we done?
No, we're not that dumb. Here we go.
Oh,
thanks, Steve. Thanks.
Hi, Glenn from Aussie Tech Heads. Join Will, Eric and myself as we bring you the latest, most up-to-date important tech news that affects you from Australia and the world. Weekly podcast available each Friday through iTunes. Watch the live stream recording of the show at live.thesecrethub.com each Thursday night, 7:30pm or GMT +10. Call in live via Skype or chat in our lounge. However you get us, just make sure you do. Listen or visit our website for more information, www.aussietechhead.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's longest running tech news podcast.
Well, that's it for Tech Webcast this week. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed having your mind expanded. Tune in next week for more tech talk with Brad, Jason, and whatever crazy guest they've managed to rope in. Don't forget to get the Tech Webcast app from iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at Tech Webcast, and of course, check us out on Facebook too. Until next time, may the tech be with you. Peace.